Okay, yesterday we finished cutting out our strips. Our strips are now 4 inches by 12 inches. Each strip is measured specifically so that your mini sketchbook is going to have pages that will all match up. So again, yesterday, one of the things that we did is we erased all of our pencil marks on both sides of the paper. So if you haven't done that yet, take an eraser and make sure you clean up your paper by getting rid of any pencil marks. The second thing that we did was we creased all of our papers. And what I do when I am creasing my papers is I'm matching up the two ends and making sure that they're nice and even. Hold them down, and then I take my fingers and I press nice and hard. Seems that goes without saying that if your hands are dirty, even just a little bit, when you do a crease, it's gonna show on there. So anytime you're working with white paper, it is really helpful to be able to wash your hands ahead of time. All right, so each crease needs to be really well done. Sometimes it's helpful to take a fingernail and just kind of rub over that crease so it is nice and tight. So each time you are working on your creases, you can do your initial crease and then go over it with a fingernail, and that is really helpful for getting a nice even crease. Now today, the next step that we're going to be working on is measuring our creases so that we can create the holes for our binding. All right, so with my ruler, I'm gonna lay this down at the edge. I'm gonna move a paper under here so you can see a little bit better. I'm laying down and making sure that the edge of my ruler is matching up with where the measurements begin. Let me zoom in a bit so you guys can see all of these little measurements that I'm getting ready to do. Okay, so on my ruler, it's a nice perfect 4-inch border. So the edge of my paper, I'm just gonna use a piece of pencil. Actually, I'm going to open up my paper. I apologize. I should have done that first. I'm going to open up my paper. And on that crease, this is actually really important. On that crease, I'm going to make a little dot at the 1/4 inch mark. Just a little dot. I measured from the edge of my ruler to the 1/4 inch. I know on this ruler you can't see it that well, but I know the clear rulers do make it a little easier. 1/2 of 4 inches is 2. That is going to be the midway point for my book. So I'm also going to make a mark at the 2-inch mark, and I'm doing just a little dot right on the crease. And then I'm gonna go over to the right-hand side, and I'm looking at the 4-inch mark. Let me go a little closer here. That makes it easier to see. I'm getting closer to that 4-inch mark, and I'm gonna work backwards, 1/4 of an inch. Now, I'm gonna try to give you a better way to see that. I have a different ruler I could grab. And this is going to make it a little bit easier for you to be able to see and identify exactly where those marks are. Let's give the camera a second to adjust. Okay, so the 1/4 inch mark on the clear rulers is not as easy to identify. The 1/2 inch mark, the halfway point, the 2-inch mark is easier to see. But the 4th inch, let's show you how it is going to be broken down. Each inch on your ruler, we'll use this spot to show you, okay? We have between 1 and 2 inches. You can see it's divided into fourths. Here is 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then you get a full number, 1 whole inch. In between that, just so you know what it is, these are 1/8 inch marks. Okay, just so you can identify that, because I know it's confusing with the different rulers. Different rulers have different marks on them to help you identify. So if you're using the clear ruler, that will help you. All right, so look at this mark that I made here. It's kind of confusing. When I used my metal ruler, it was all scratched up and it was difficult to see. I'm going to erase this and make that mark again, because I want to make sure I know exactly where that 1/4 of an inch mark goes. So again, right on my crease, I'm making a little dot. So now on my paper, I have these 3 dots. The 3 dots are going to be where your binding happens. I'll walk you through step by step. So today, the next step is, first you're measuring, and I'll write it on here, 1/4 of an inch from the left side. You're doing the 2-inch mark, and this is also going to be the 3 3/4 inch mark. If you ended up trimming your book so that you can make your edges a little bit more straight, that's going to change things a bit, and I'll need to work with you independently to show exactly where those marks are going to be. I'll give you a basic guide, and then you'll go from there. All right, so the next step is I have made these cardboard pieces for you, and you have a push pin. So you're going to take your cardboard piece, you're going to put it underneath your paper, and you are going to take that push pin and right on that little mark you made on the fold or the crease, you're going to push that mark. That little push pin is going to make a little hole. The cardboard is there to give you a way to push the push pin through. It's actually really satisfying to do that, and it's going to be hard to resist the urge to want to make more holes. Don't make more holes, just the 3 in your binding. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much.